Hey, what's up everybody? Boss here. For those of you that have followed the link from Android Central, just thought I would throw up a video versus typing out some long paragraph and you'd be bored reading. Granted, you may be bored watching the video, but some first impressions on the Asus ePad Transformer. Unfortunately, I wasn't unable to get the dock, as I don't know that anybody in the US has been able to get their hands on. But my first impression, it's definitely lighter than the Xoom. And unfortunately I took the Xoom back about a week or so ago when I ordered this one, and I think it definitely feels thinner. It definitely feels lighter. The volume or the sound of the speakers, which I actually posted up on Android Central questioning, obviously the speakers are here on the side of this. I don't think this has quite as good of sound quality as the Xoom, so I'm going to give the Xoom definitely props for the volume and quality of the speaker, even though they're backfiring. And again, this is just from less than 24 hours. I've got about 4 or 5 hours worth of use on the device right now, and after a full charge, I'm about halfway down. And that's not really fair to say it went 5 hours on half the battery, because I don't know. I was charging it some while I was using it back and forth, so I really haven't done a proper battery test by any means. Now I threw this up, the live wallpaper, just to kind of get a feel for smoothness, and I'm telling you right now, this is a slightly different experience than the Xoom from the standpoint of it just feels a little bit smoother to me. And in portrait mode, which we all know on the Xoom, you would get quite a bit, and I should actually put something on each page, but I don't have. But just this transition and the animation change just seems smoother on this than the Xoom. Now, a couple other things that's kind of crazy is when I first opened this up, and I'll go in here to the browser, which some of you may not care for the stock browser. I personally kind of like the stock browser, and I like the stock browser for this reason. It's got the quick controls, and so when you come in from the side, it pops up those controls. And for those of you that grab onto your tablet like this, just pop your thumb in and have all your controls right there and not have to reach up and hit the back button or do something crazy. This is the way I prefer to surf the web. And the crazy thing for me was this, of course, if you've loaded up the Xoom stock out of the box and you said, hey, let's go to, I just hit something, didn't mean to. So I go to my bookmarks, and let's go in here and I'm going to just try to close this down. The browser, actually I don't think I have anything on here to kill it, or yes I do. I've got system panel from a battery test, so we're going to jump in, and I don't normally do this, I let it kind of manage it, but I'm going to kill all tasks. So as you can see, the browser is not open right now, if that's focusable. The keyboard, Asus keyboard, my water, which is live background, the system panel. Alright, so we're going to go back out, we're going to open up the browser, and if you've ever messed with the Xoom, once you kill off, let's focus again, here we go. If you've ever messed with the Xoom and the browser, you know that when you go to Engadget as a particular site, it loads up the mobile site. I haven't touched this, haven't done the about, /debug. Engadget loads up. Oh, that's Android Central. Nice. How about we add a tab? So I've got another tab coming. Android Central, of course, is loading in the background here. Google, and we're going to go to, where is, oh, I don't even have it, do I? Okay, oh, there's Engadget. So Engadget, guess what? Not a mobile site out of the box. Loads up just like you'd have on your computer. Loads up full screen. And that is something I haven't touched this. It came out of the box, I pulled the plastic off, I loaded up a few apps that I knew I had, did the backup from my Google account, and here we are. First tablet that I'm aware of, you don't have to tweak the dang thing or say I want mobile site or full site. And that same thing applies to, I believe it was ESPN. If you pull the ESPN up on the iPad, the Xoom, whatever, you're going to get prompted on the iPad to choose mobile or full site, and then you hit a button up top and it saves it. This just loads full sites. which is freaking awesome. I mean, that's exactly what I want in a pad. I don't want to have to say, oh, it's a mobile site, and then root it and hack it to get it to work. So in full tab browsing, and I'm going to pull out the stylus here just for a little better precision. As you can see, it changes through. Everything's loaded in. And as with any new device, initially, most of the kind of stickiness on the screen, and I'm not sure what that is. I just took I took basically a little cotton cloth, wringed it out so it was just barely damp, and kind of wiped the screen a little bit. And it definitely it's got a much slicker feel now. Before it kind of had a tacky feel right out of the box. So it feels much better, and I can actually do the finger scrolls and mess around with it a little better. So that's kind of the browsing experience, which out of the box is a much better experience than the Xoom in my opinion, because I'm not sitting there staring at a bunch of mobile sites. I don't have to go online and look up about, debug. And I know for all you people that love Android and are kind of geeked out on it, I can go that route. I'm very technical in that respect, but to get into the consumer's hands out of the box and get an experience that gives them the full web as everybody wants to advertise, that's important. And that's going to do nothing but help bring Android developers to the tablet market and Honeycomb and say, hey, this thing out of the box, people can use it, and there's no confusion as to why it's not loading them full site or why it's giving them something other than what they expect. Obviously, all the same apps. Apps aren't really any different on any of the Honeycomb tablets that are out there. The biggest things I've noticed difference, of course, is running the full screen, the smoothness in which it pans back and forth through apps, and of course, once you're in portrait mode, the way that works. The other cool thing here is called MyNet, and I'm going to go into it. And I don't know enough about it just yet, but what I do know is it picks up automatically pretty much anything that is on my home network. And so this kind of taps into your home network and basically brings up, like, this is my DirecTV receiver. It pulls up the playlist from the DVR. However, at this point, it does not play back the video. So I don't really know if that's going to work or if I should expect that to work. Obviously, there's, photos, video, my bad. Okay, so you go to videos. And of course, my wife pretty much runs the show, as you can tell from the Royal Wedding to Real Housewives. Oh boy. Vampire Diaries, if you try to play it, what do we get? We get the cannot play video. Sorry, this video cannot be played. I do have, as you can see here, I've got Rock Player Lite on here. I'm not sure, I'll have to read a little bit more about this and how this is supposed to work. But obviously this will access my computer. This is my desktop sitting right in front of me. Let's go down here. And it's going to pick up the default folders, which are my videos, my pictures, and all that. So if I load those folders up, you're going to have access to that content. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, Polaris Office is on here. Not going to get into that. I normally have used Astro as my file manager. And I'll zoom in here so you can kind of see. My apologies, I should have zoomed in a little bit better. This has a file manager on it, and it's going to look very much like Astro. Obviously, there's no ads if you get the free Astro, but this gives you your basic file structure where you can get in as you start downloading stuff. You'll be able to get in, as you can see up here. It's showing SD card, which is interesting. So it must be going to offload everything onto an SD card, which I don't have installed. So I'm going to assume that's maybe on the main. I'll have to see. What else? The camera, everybody says, oh, the camera's got issues. Obviously, there's not much in the background there, but I mean, I took a few pictures, and I can post the pictures up. There's a few less options. On the Xoom, you've got a list of maybe 8 or 10. This just has the 4 different color effects. I think the Xoom probably has, you scroll through, there might be 10 or 12. But the same basics up here. You've got the auto, incandescent, daylight, and fluorescent. Now, when you switch over into video mode, as we will do there, you've still got the same settings as the Xoom, YouTube, the high definition or whatever that is, 15-minute. Again, it just has those 4 color settings and the 4 flash settings. And what's down here? Oh, and then the time-lapse interval. I'm not real sure if the Xoom had that or not. I can't remember. So basically the same features. I'll do some more, take some pictures and see what I think and post those as well. But for now, I just kind of want to show the basics. Quick tour around at what I thought were the differences. I I guess I've shown you obviously the the side has the power and the volume control. The space here between the two, and my preference would be they space these out about another 1/4 inch, because as you can see, my big fingers tend to hit that button sometimes. But I actually love the feel and the responsiveness of these buttons versus the Xoom. They're not shoved down, and let me get up here where I can show you. If it'll focus, it may not. They stick out of the side of the case is the point. These stick up out of the side of the case. They're very easy to find and feel what's up, what's down, and it takes very little pressure at all to trigger the volume key. So for me, that's nice, because I felt the Xoom was too far recessed and it took way too much effort to get the volume key to activate. On this side, you have the obvious ports, and with the headphone jack here, you've got your, what is this, the mini HDMI. I believe that's mini versus micro. And then here's the the micro SD card. So HDMI, micro SD. Now clearly on the bottom you're going to get the 3 ports, which are the 2 here that will connect and lock into the keyboard dock, and then the center one is for the charging plug, data plug, whatever, which is right here. That is of course the proprietary plug, just like the Apple devices. Very easy to go in, and unlike the Xoom, it locks in pretty much flush and feels very stable in the device. And that's what you're going to charge it with, unless you're hooked up to your dock. To me, proprietary or not, I like that way better than the Xoom solution to charge. And I can tell you it charges just as fast as the Xoom did. So there's a lot of speedy charging going on. I plugged this thing in for probably less than an hour and picked up from, I think it was at 28% out of the box or 30%, and went up to 66 or 67 pretty quick. What else? Everything else is pretty much the same, honeycomb, nothing new there. But I'm very pleased that I made the transition from the Xoom to this. And I said my 3 key reasons were an IPS screen. I'm convinced it's better technology. It definitely looks better to me. I can definitely look at the 180-degree angle almost flat, and you can still see the screen. The volume controls. The power button wasn't really a big deal for me on the Xoom. Once you find it on the back, it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, it felt nice, was easy to run, but the volume controls are much better, and of course the AC plug for me is a home run on this thing. So that is about it. I will address the back, as people have said, hey, it's, oh, that's cheap plastic, what are you going to do? Quite honestly, I would reserve judgment until I felt one, because I've been pretty impressed. I could care less if it's aluminum, as long as it feels well built, and this definitely feels well built. You get a little texture to it. It's not like all of a sudden it's super grippy, because it is hard plastic. But as you can hear, I'm not going to have to worry about scratches. So if I just set this down in normal, I'm not going to worry about scratching the aluminum or scratching the damn thing, which quite frankly drove me crazy with the iPad and everything else. I was always putting them on something. At least I can lay this on a counter and not freak out that I'm going to have a bunch of scratches on it. And of course right in the center you've got your 5-megapixel camera. So I can only end by saying, well done, Asus. I am very happy that they took the time to think about a few things and tweak and add the skin, which I was kind of nervous of. And it may be, I'm delayed on a few updates, but to me, whatever they've done to get, full screen web pages, very smooth animation, transitions, kudos to them for taking the time to do that. Motorola was first to market, but I'd say this, in my opinion, sets the standard for an Android tablet for right now. So, yes, it's my choice, and I'm not saying that the Xoom is not the right choice for some people, but everybody has their own quirks. Some people are going to hate plastic and call it cheap and whatever, that's fine. I can live with that, because the features that do stand out to me are the screen, the rocker switch, and the power. So, enjoy. If you got any questions or want me to run any particular piece of software, obviously if it's free on the market, I'll be happy to load it. Or if you got any further questions, let me know. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you soon.